All right, we got a little Form Friday, Form Check Friday, Technique Tuesday, even though I'm posting this on a Sunday. Who cares what day it is? We're just trying to be awesome weightlifters. Okay, I got my man Devin here, and we are performing a slow pull snatch, a deliberately slow pull snatch. And I'll show you what that means. And this happens to be a miss. And the reason why sometimes we will program something like a pull or like snatch with a slow pull is to actually accentuate some habits that may not be as conducive to the outcome of the lift. The pulling slowly or deliberately is a way to kind of highlight those things and then to work on them. So they highlight what Devin sometimes tends to do in his pull, which I'll slow it down here, is the start position solid here, shoulders above hips, hips above knees. But what he'll tend to do right about here is he'll tend to rock back onto the heels, and you can see that happen as his toes lift up off of the floor. But the issue with rocking so far back onto your heels that your weight is essentially on the back half of your foot only is that we tend to overcorrect and then swing the hips way forward, banging the bar away from us and having our hips way in front of that midfoot position. And so you kind of get this hip pendulum action, like a kettlebell swing, only doing a barbell snatch. And we bang the bar away from our body. And what you'll find is that his feet kind of overcorrect and then slide back. So there's just a lot of this happening, a lot of horizontal movement. We rock way back on the heels, and then we throw the hips into the bar, sends the bar away from us, and then we've got to kind of whip the bar back behind us, and our feet just don't land underneath our center of mass. Our base of support is all out of whack, and that's what you see here. Actually pretty impressive that he was, if I snapshot this, that he was able to hold that much weight in an overhead squat on his toes, essentially. But that's what happens. Now, a set later, a great correction where same thing, snatch with a slow, deliberate pull. Sticks that one. Now let's break it down. This first pull to the knee, much more centered over the whole foot. You'll notice you don't see those toes coming up nearly as much. He's keeping his shoulders over the bar, but more importantly, he's keeping balance over the whole foot. And what that does now is you see those hips don't swing forward nearly as much because he's much more balanced over his whole foot. The bar and the hips meet more on that midfoot position. If I were to draw a straight line down, that is not a straight line. Maybe I'll draw it from up. That's a little better, but that's kind of where we're looking to be. And that's much more where he is in this position compared to the rep before. And what it leads to is a much more vertical extension. So now the feet are just going to slide out instead of sliding back. And his hips are under the bar and he's much more balanced in the receiving position. Now, there's something else that we can clean up that is maybe a different video, which is this kind of float time, which is just wasted time that he should be pulling under the bar, not floating in the air. But that's a different conversation. Point here, balance over the whole foot, much more vertical extension. But the slow pull snatch then is a drill that you might be able to do for you or your athletes to accentuate what they tend to do in their pull, and then to highlight making the corrections. So more of that in videos to come. Also, if you're interested in this and taking your weightlifters and powerlifters and barbell sport athletes from rehab to performance, join us in Austin, Texas on November 22nd and 23rd for the Clinical Athlete Super Total Certification. The early bird ends in 1 week. So save some money and come hang out with us. We'll see you there.